This should be the golden era for Democrats, right? Setting themselves up to retake control of the House and Senate from Republicans' big league in 2018, the White House in 2020. This should be a time when Democrats can really take advantage of the bumbling and disastrous policy of the Trump White House, combined with these spineless Republicans, mostly unwilling to speak out against Donald Trump, at least so far. But instead, Democrats have been bumbling themselves, and they're now announcing a totally flaccid new slogan called a better deal. And I guess it's sort of a critique of how Trump talks about making deals, right? They're gonna give you a better deal than what the deal maker himself is giving you. But it just feels totally vacuous, and it already is sort of conceding the concept of deal making to Donald Trump in saying that they are doing more than just opposing Trump by putting out this plan. The Democrats pick a name that already concedes that it's about deals, and it's sort of a thinly veiled slight at Donald Trump. You're still sort of being just not Trump when you choose a slogan that's directly related to Donald Trump. But fine, that's the sort of language of it. What about the substance? The new slogan is going to target issues like job training programs and renegotiating trade deals, as well as promoting specific spending plans for infrastructure and a $15 minimum wage. I get it, right? Trump did well with one idea, make America great again. Democrats now want to do well with this idea, a better deal. The problem is that you're conceding everything to Donald Trump with this plan. I criticize Democrats for being Republicans light on many issues. On many issues, Democrats are genuinely different than Republicans. But look at the list here. Job training programs. Okay, hard to disagree with job training programs, but Trump has been talking about job training for people without college degrees, who he loves, and now it becomes the Democratic job training program versus the Trump job training program. You're already in the weeds. You've already lost when that's one of the 3 to 4 points that you pick. Renegotiating trade deals. That's a win for Trump. If your relaunch is to pick up on something that Trump has already been bamboozling people about for 18 months, you've lost. Trade deals are obviously important, but people now care about them without knowing a damn thing about them because of how Donald Trump talked about trade deals. It is a loser's battle for Democrats now to get involved in the trade deal game. And now Democrats say, well, we'll renegotiate them. That's exactly what Trump wants to do. Democrats now need to explain, again, in the weeds, how will they renegotiate trade deals better than Trump? You can't win with that. A plan for infrastructure spending. Trump campaigned on that. Yes, it was a total crony capitalist version of infrastructure spending. But again, to win moderates now, you've got to get into the weeds. How will we do infrastructure spending versus how does Trump want to do infrastructure spending? Chuck Schumer is trying to have the right idea on this, but it's pretty lukewarm. He said over the weekend, when you lose to somebody who has 40% popularity, you don't blame other things, Comey, Russia, you blame yourself. So what did we do wrong? People didn't know what we stood for, just that we were against Trump and still believe that. So yeah, okay, Schumer's right. You should be blaming yourself. That's the right instinct. But it's not just that people didn't know what you stood for. You stood for lots of confusing and weak things. Now, in comes Nancy Pelosi. She's way off the mark. Okay, Nancy Pelosi said to The Hill on July 23rd, or according to The Hill on July 23rd, House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi also told the newspaper that Democrats are not looking for a course correction, but rather a presentation correction. No, no, no. Americans are looking for a course correction away from corporate Democrats that on too many issues are indistinguishable from Republicans. Yes, they need a course correction, Pat. Nancy Pelosi is completely wrong here about this.
Yes, and the other problem with this slogan, too, is it just looks like you're going for half measures. I mean, It's a better deal. It's not the best deal. And Democrats have been screwed by this before. I mean, when we talk about the minimum wage, it's never really about making the minimum wage a living wage as it is, let's say $10 is good enough or $12 is good enough. When we talk about healthcare, we just concede this idea of universal healthcare and we settle on maybe the public option. Well, that doesn't work out because you have to negotiate and you find yourself somewhere in the middle. If you seek out a whole loaf of bread, you may get half a loaf of bread. If you just seek out half a loaf of bread, you may not get much.
You might get a
crumbs.
slice. You might get just the crust. What should Democrats actually do? Comprehensive united message on healthcare. Okay. Top issue, according to Gallup's biggest problem poll. It's a very good poll. Take a position like Medicare for all, or take a position on really a robust public option, even though that arguably was too weak a starting point for the Obamacare debate. Something specific that isn't just slightly different than what Republicans are offering. Fix student loans and deal with college costs in some real way. Top issue for voters as of this month is the economy in general, as well as unemployment and jobs. 14% of Americans believe that those two issues together are the most important problem. You've got to do something serious there. Immigration is still cited as a very important issue. It's not totally clear that people are voting on that. People will vote on healthcare. People will vote on the economy. And by the way, the actual top issue, according to Gallup, 19%. Dissatisfaction with government and poor leadership. A Trump light slogan about a better deal than Trump will give you is not going to change that. I'm sorry.
You also have to get everyone on the same page when it comes to their talking points. So send out Democratic surrogates, politicians on all the cable news outlets, and have them repeat the same things. That's what Republicans are good at. So, for example, when it comes to this idea of repealing Obamacare, make sure it gets known to the American public that 43,000 people a year will die needlessly if the ACA is repealed.
It's sadly, Pat, not looking great for 2018. I mean, it's like we've barely even started and it's already not looking good. I'm very concerned about this, quote, new direction from Democrats.